Hi guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I'm Beka Haze, and this is Makeup with Your Mental Health, where I'm a normal person that talks to you like a normal person. Today, we're going to be talking about postpartum depression, anxiety, and the least talked about psychosis. So, let's begin. The following presentation may have triggering topics that may affect viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm back, baby. I know that was a long in-between time of episodes, but I'm back and I'm new and improved and I'm ready to go again with a lot more of a consistent upload time, and let's get started. So the reason that we're talking about postpartum disorders today is that I feel like a lot of the time it isn't talked about enough, and we need to give our mothers and those that have birthed children a lot more credit where it's deserved. We are in a new world where everything is blasted on social media with our children, with our pregnancy, with everything that has to do with parenthood and motherhood. And that also brings in a lot of people that are called mommy shamers and sanctimommies. These are the people that judge you for absolutely everything that you choose to do as a parent for your child, whether that be breastfeeding or formula feeding, whether that is how you swaddle them at night, how you co-sleep or don't co-sleep, or cry it out method, or the Ferber or Furby, I think it's Ferber method. But what I'm trying to say is that there's a reason that our parents and moms are battling with all these postpartum disorders. Today, we're going to be talking about depression, anxiety, and psychosis postpartum disorders. Now, there's also a lot more postpartum disorders out there, such as postpartum OCD, postpartum PTSD, but today we're going to focus on these three heavy ones. First, we're going to be talking about postpartum depression. Now, a lot of psychiatrists and doctors say that postpartum depression is nowhere any different than regular depression is for a mother before that she has a child. But a lot of the symptoms include depressed or sad mood, no interest in your baby, tearfulness, loss of interest, change in sleep and appetite, feelings of worthlessness or unimportance, also poor concentration, and suicidal thoughts. Now, postpartum depression usually happens within the first 2 to 3 months after giving birth, but it may occur at any other point after delivery. Now, a lot of women also say that they experience the symptoms during their pregnancy as well. It's tape time. It's a look. Now, I'd also like to mention that approximately 15 to 20% of women say that they experience postpartum depression after giving birth. Thankfully, postpartum depression can be treated with proper medication, therapy, and a proper support system of friends and family, and getting a bit more rest and a bit more regular eating. I feel like today we're going to be having a funeral for 2020 since we're bringing in 2021. At this point, it'll be a week into 2021 when I'm uploading this, but it's still a funeral. I'm wearing black. We're gonna have a funeral for 2020 today. Like, I wanna know down in the comments what you would rate 2020 as. Me, I would rate it a solid 0. We all know that everybody had a hard 2020, but I also want to hear everything positive that happened to you in 2020. Let me know down in the comments. Not really going the way I want it to, but as I've always said, at least we're playing and having fun. That's what matters. Even if we don't like the end result, it's still fun. Next up, we're going to be talking about postpartum anxiety, which sometimes does go hand in hand with postpartum depression, or it can be something on its own. Now, postpartum anxiety affects approximately 10% of new mothers after they've given birth. And the thing about postpartum anxiety disorder is that it can develop into postpartum panic disorder, where along with somebody's anxiety, somebody can also experience panic attacks along with their new anxiety. Symptoms include impending fear that something bad will happen, trouble sitting still and focusing. Physical symptoms also include dizziness and nausea, hot flashes, and generalized anxiety throughout the body. Just like postpartum depression, thankfully, postpartum anxiety is also treatable with medication and therapy and support. I'm gonna admit, my skin is not happy with this foundation tonight. I don't know why. One of those nights, eh? Lord. Next, we're going to be talking about postpartum psychosis, which is the most intense version of postpartum depression and is the most severe that is considered a medical emergency and must get attention immediately. It occurs in 1 to 2 pregnancies out of 1,000, and the onset is very sudden. It is so severe, and it usually happens within 2 to 3 days after birth. Symptoms include bizarre behavior, hallucinations and or delusions, suicidal thoughts, thoughts of hurting the baby, rapid mood swings, and also hyperactivity. Now, I'd also like to take a moment to talk about something that isn't so much postpartum depression, but it is something that a lot of women and people that have had birthed a baby experience. And it happens to about 50 to 75% of these new mothers, and it's something called the baby blues. Now, the baby blues is the least severe form of postpartum depression. And these are normal, regular feelings that are negative after you experience giving birth. Usually these feelings appear about 4 to 5 days after giving birth. Common symptoms include crying for no apparent reason, mood swings, irritability, anxiousness, feeling very overwhelmed. And trust me, I know that feeling. I cried over The Notebook for about 4 hours after I gave birth. It's my first time watching it too. And a change in sleeping and eating. And this is more than just a regular change of sleeping and eating that you would experience having just given birth to a baby. This is a little bit more severe. And thankfully, while unpleasant, these feelings will typically resolve on their own within a few weeks after birth or after the onset of these experiences. Now, I reached out to a lot of mothers that have recently, within the last year or two, given birth, and a lot of moms would like to talk about things that are taboo when it comes to being a new mom, that it's normal to reach out for help, that it's okay to reach out for help, that there's such things as rage and sadness and depression and anxiety when it comes to being a new mom or a new parent, because we need to support our mothers, our dads, and our non-binary parents too, because it is so hard to parent. I know, I have a 5-year-old daughter myself, and I have been struggling for all 5 of those years. But as long as you have a support system that is able to be there for you, to be able to take the baby for a night, or bring new food, or come over and let you nap, it's those little things that really make the world of difference. Speaking of my 5-year-old, I had to do my lipstick off camera because somebody decided to take it and draw with it, so it's lost its point. God love her. So last and not least, all we have left to do is the spray. Refreshing. So I'd also like to take a minute and say thank you to everybody that's been willing to wait around while I got back to getting a new video done, and that's been supporting me and sharing and liking and commenting, which please do down below, please. And our Kickstarter has unfortunately not reached its goal, but that's also okay. I had an expectation for myself and I had a feeling I wouldn't reach it, and I still had a lot of people reach out to me and that are learning and growing, and that's all I can ask for, really. I want everybody to learn something from this channel, whether it has to do with makeup or with mental health. So thank you, and thank you for being who you are. I love you. Goodbye.